But once they get elected, their true corporatist colors come out. They don't feel your pain. They feel a pain in their wallet if they don't get paid a lot of money for working less than part-time.
And free Medicare, insurance,
the best insurance,
etc., pension,
the best health care,
etc. Yeah.
Pension. They can afford to pay for their own health insurance, and they can afford to contribute to their own retirement with that kind of money. They do not need the freebies and the perks. And now look at this Eric Cantor, man, $200,000 a year, and he's only working, what is it, 123 days? I read
26.
126 days.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Anyway, we're going to take a break. It's time for Dr. Bill's gastronomic delight known as lunch, followed by high supplementation, because we definitely need high octane rocket fuel today. You know, but I like the idea.
I'm an electric man.
I like the idea that after the real heavy duty, deep intro that we did with the monologue, that you went into a couple interesting light subjects. That was good. But I'm sure we're going to hit some.
Oh, go on.
We're going to encounter some hard hitting subjects here.
I hope.
You're eating
Rigatoni.
Organic whole grain rigatoni and meatballs. I wonder if rigatoni means rigor mortis in Italian, because the pasta is very rigid when they dry it out. Rigor mortis, rigatoni.
No, I think it would be riga morta.
Rigor morta. Levity bells. Anyway, Dr. Bill and myself, off the air, we were talking about pets, like cats and dogs. And I have mentioned that young dogs, if you have a puppy, you have to keep all your shoes and boots and possibly slippers, anything that's leather, keep it locked up in the closet, because they're teething and they'll destroy it. They'll chew it up, tear it to pieces. And just until, after the teething phase, then he told me a story about a friend of his who had a beagle, and I had said, you know what the best toy for a beagle is to take rawhide and to form a bagel and give the beagle a bagel, a rawhide bagel. Get it? Beagle, bagel? Anyway. Right here. You see this guy right here next to me? To your left or my right. This is a self-portrait of the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. The Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman is a fine watercolor artist. You can see the William J. Eisenman collection by going to, and this is all one word, William J. Eisenman collection, lowercase, right, at tumblr.com. TUMBLR. And if you see something you like, go to newslettercensored.com and send Dr. Bill an email. And if he still has the painting, the watercolor painting, signed by himself, you can procure the painting if he still has it. But his collection has grown to be sizable, and I still do not see the new paintings on your Facebook.
What are you clicking on?
On your Facebook. I clicked on everything.
You clicked on photos.
Every album I can find.
Photos.
And
there's one with maybe like over 100 some photos. That's the album.
I'll try again. And all the new.
There's two photos, I think. The one has only a couple photos. The other has over 100.
Well, how do I know? As far as the abstracts go, how do I know which ones are new? Are they dated? Because I don't have them.
What do you mean new?
The ones you scanned, the most recent ones.
The most recent abstract was not scanned.
Okay.
It's truncated.
Oh, so the ones that were scanned,
There's the Ola
right? That's the blonde.
and the other three.
The blonde woman and the landscapes, the two landscapes. Okay.
And the other woman.
The other woman too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They were all scanned. They should be there.
Yeah. Because you, for some
I made
reason,
it public.
for some reason, when you send it to me attached, I get blank. I don't understand.
Mhm.
I think it was Outlook Express. That was the problem.
Never usually was.
But you tried it with Yahoo. You tried to attach it through. Try to send it to me through Yahoo. I usually get JPGs with no problem in the Yahoo Mail. You know, because what I do is I put them in your folder for the next. Well, no, I have to put them in Tumblr. What am I saying? Your folder? Yeah, I save them in your folder to add to Tumblr. I want to add them to Tumblr. You know, unless you wanna manage Tumblr.
Well, they should be there.
All right. If you're ever wondering what is the best way to join our organization, well, this is it. This is the backbone of our organization, founded in 1977 by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. Newsletter Censored. This is how you join our organization. Just simply go to newslettercensored.com and with your gift to support this work, get your free annual subscription to the newsletter that started it all back in 1977. There's nothing like Newsletter Censored out there. Nothing. It contains hard-hitting truth that most people are afraid to hear. Can you handle it? And it deals with the 5 taboos of American life: politics, religion, health care, child rearing, and human sexuality. There is more information in the newsletter than there is on our talk shows or on our websites. You need Newsletter Censored. We are living in the end times. You need Newsletter Censored to show you how to defeat a conservative and to teach you what the Bible really has to say, not what right-wing fundamentalist, zealot, counterfeit Christians tell you what the Bible says. So this is it. Go to newslettercensored.com and get your free annual subscription now. If you go to the Megalife 21 internet talk radio station, which is at the top of newslettercensored.com, there is a free sample, a free printable sample issue of Newsletter Censored from the past, one of the classic readings. I believe it's called Free Market Capitalism is Dead. I believe it was that one, but you know, check it out. Anyway, it's a whole entire issue of Censored from the past. Very applicable to today, and it's free. And you could just print each page out until you have an entire issue as a free sample from us to you. But support our work with your gift. Get your subscription now. Newslettercensored.com. And I don't see him,
He's there.
but I'm sure he's in there somewhere. I'm sure he's there. I don't see him, and I am oh, here he is. He's all the way in the bottom. Sneaky little bastard, trying to get away from me. Well,
He's ashamed.
the pride and joy of the Republican Party the patron saint of all Republicans, the man who shifted the tax burden from the rich to the middle class and the poor with, I guess, higher consumption taxes, more or
Property
less.
taxes,
Yeah, yeah,
sales taxes,
yeah.
and on it goes.
Ronald Reagan, with his infamous trickle-down economics, which it was a big lie. It was never meant to work. The Reaganomics, trickle-down economics from the 1980s is actually siphoned up to the wealthy economics, siphoned up to the 1%. It never trickled down. It doesn't trickle down. It pisses down. And there's Ronald Reagan urinating on the American people, on the United States. All right? The patron saint of Republicans. And he's right there pissing away on America because he took money out of the pockets of the true consumers, which is the little guy. Has always been the little guy. The backbone of the American economy has always been the little guy. And he took money out of your pocket and put it all in the hands of the greedy, stingy, rich that may tell you that they earned every penny they have, but in reality, if they are usually born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or their money is making money for them, so they do not need to work.
Yeah. So who's lazy?
That's true.
Yeah.
They always mention the little guy and the poor people as being lazy, but they never mention the rich as being lazy. And speaking of greed and corporate America, I have posted a very sad banner that I found. It was from the Facebook page Too Informed to Vote Republican. It is founded and run by its president, Crystal Perkins. And it was a photograph of 2 of the 1,000 victims in Bangladesh, the factory workers that were buried in rubble. A man holding a woman in his arms, and the both of them were dead. And some information on the photo is there concerning Walmart, and this is the price that you pay for your low-cost clothing in the United States. The outsourced, virtually slave labor, almost slave labor in Bangladesh, which, from what I understand, they get paid even less money than people in mainland China, under 20 cents an hour. And this particular factory made products for Walmart and I think Disney and other companies, but many of Walmart's clothing was made in this factory in Bangladesh, and there were no safety
Procedures put in place.
Procedures put in place. No, it was totally deregulated.
That's what they love.
Very unsafe working environment. No safety guidelines at all. And 1,000 people died. And this is not counting the fire, right? Or is this counting, including the fire that took place? Like the people buried in the rubble. Uh-oh. We just heard thunderstorm. Yeah, people buried in the rubble. Was that a direct directly connected to the fire, or was that did the building? Yeah, it had to be connected to the fire. I mean, they could not resume production after the big fire, which killed people, and then I guess it collapsed, and they found 1,000 people dead in the rubble. But initially, when this news first broke about the fire in the factory in Bangladesh, they did not mention 1,000 people dying in a collapsed building. They only mentioned like a few hundred, couple hundred or something like that.
No, less than 100.
Less than 100.
They went for, yeah.
So they might have withheld information on the numbers as to not make Walmart look that bad. Well, in other words, they already look bad, but not to make them appear worse.
Any corporation who seeks to better its bottom line by those kind of tactics, such as paying crap, no protections, no pensions, no overtime, etc., etc.
Unsafe working environment.
Unsafe working environment is already looking bad.
Aren't these the reasons that gave birth to the first labor unions in the United States?
Of course, child labor, 80-hour week, etc., etc.
Yeah, and that scumbag, famous rich guy, J.P. Morgan, he was in favor of child labor back then.
Of course, so was Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, what was that movie I enjoyed? Fist with Sylvester Stallone. I think it was about the birth of the Teamsters Union, how it came about.
Well, Hoffa was about the Teamsters.
But that was later on. No, I mean this was the birth of the labor unions. It took place. When did it happen?
I don't know.
20s or 30s?
One of the first ones was the CIO, and then that somehow merged with or was it the AFL? Whatever. The AFL CIO, they merged once
and became the Teamsters.
But today, at that time, there were like maybe close to 40% of people were in unions. Today, it's 7%.
Interesting.
Because unions have gotten a bad name.
Well,
and
politics
politics have mitigated against them.
Well, I wish those office people in the Philippines unionize because that's where all the American office jobs went.
Yeah, well, if they unionize, you can see all them office jobs go bye-bye.
They'll ship
to
them
another country.
Well,
where wages are cheaper and there's none of that stuff.
But they have to ship them to countries where English is spoken well.
Well, you know, a lot of countries do have
Philippines speak good English.
Who, so to speak English. You know, if you call up Sears and you get some guy from India, he can say he's speaking English, but to me he ain't speaking English because I don't understand a word he's saying.
Neither do I. But I can understand a Philippine person speaking English with no problem. Maybe the accent is just the accent that makes it difficult.
The Indian accent
to understand. I don't know, but yeah, this is the situation. I mean, they keep on outsourcing from one third world country to the next because they're looking eventually maybe to give them 2 cents an hour, and then hopefully slavery will come back. That's how obsessively greedy corporations are.
Well, that's what it's all about.
In America.
The quarterly bottom line. Keep it high.
Right.
The stock price goes up, etc., etc. The CEO makes more money.
Now you have this show on primetime major network TV called Undercover Boss. I think it exists just to make CEOs look nice, like nice guys.
Hey.
If you ever watch it, I mean, he goes undercover, and then he, at the end of the show, he rewards the.
He does good things for his
He
employees.
does really good things for certain employees,
All right.
like it could be things that they need, that financially, and he pays for the whole thing, regardless what it is. But trust me, they're demons. I mean, who do you think sends the lobbyists to Washington, right, Dr. Bill? It's the CEOs, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
They're all connected.
All right, let us get back to these readings, because we had a rather long monologue at the beginning.
Pat Toomey,
Excuse me?
U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
Pat Toomey?
Pat Toomey, who broke ranks with the GOP and joined with Democrat Joe Manchin in sponsoring a bill demanding universal background checks for gun purchases, had some interesting things to say last week in an interview with journalists from his home state.
Wouldn't it be funny if Joe Manchin lived in a trailer? Haha.
In a post-mortem on the gun bill, which failed to gain the requisite 60 votes needed to overcome a silent filibuster in the Senate, Toomey mused, in the end, it did not pass because we are so politicized. There were some on my side who did not want to be seen helping the president do something he wanted to get done, just because the president wanted to do it. The only surprise here is the person doing the talking. It's hardly news that Republicans in Congress have mistakenly bought into the notion that their oath of office includes opposing President Obama's initiatives, even if Americans overwhelmingly agree with the president, as is the case with the background checks. But to have a Republican senator confirm that dynamic is noteworthy. The Republican obstructionists aren't fooling anyone but themselves. About the time Toomey was being interviewed, the Republican National Committee was preparing a YouTube message claiming that Obama has been ineffective in the first 100 days of his second term. It features a voice on a newscast saying, "The gun bill failed. The sequester is here to stay." Cravenly, the political commercial even flashes to a photo of Obama consoling one of the parents who lost a child in the Newtown, Connecticut shooting. How sad is that? By Toomey's admission, Republicans won't vote for sensible gun safety regulations because they can't give Obama a political victory.
No, their objective is for Obama to fail.
Well, they failed in their first one, making him a one-term president.
Because they want, in 2016, they want the Democratic candidate to fail. They want total control.
Well, they're going to say unemployment 7.5. That, a little bit of that. He didn't do nothing. We need a Republican in there.
Really? Well, what about the Republican Congress?
Deficits.
What about the Republican Congress that's sabotaging Obama?
Well, that's what this is all about.
It's like with Major League Baseball. It's like blaming everything on the baseball team manager and not blaming the team's performance. It's the same deal.
Yeah, well, that's what this is all about here. That's what they're doing. And then you got the problem of it is not truth that wins the day. It is perception. Okay? What people perceive as being the truth.
Well, who cares what people perceive if it's not?
Because
if
they're
it's
the
a
ones
lie?
who vote by perception, not by truth.
Well, that's not the behavior of an intelligent species, is it?
It has not been said that these Republicans of our day are intelligent.
Well, neither are the idiots, the numbskulls that vote for them in the red states. They're not intelligent
That's
either.
correct. So put on a pair of jeans and have a beer at a local tavern, and these people will vote for you because he's just like us. He's just like us, man.
There was a comedy program on last night, and this comedian originally from Mississippi stood up, and he was making fun of the people of the deep South Bible Belt red states, and he was saying they're so damn homophobic down there.
Oh yeah.
That every little thing is like a gay bash. You know, it's like.
Well, you see what the bunch of guys just did the other day, beat up the two gay guys.
Yeah, hate crimes, and of course if you're a person of color, they don't like you. They don't like you. They still
we got
don't like you.
Jim Crow laws.
Oh, not just with the African American. I'm talking about like if you're Latin, if you
brown, baby.
Right away, if you're brown, you're Mexican, and right away they think illegal. Meanwhile, the Mexican, illegal or not, probably works harder and more hours than they do. Most likely.
That again turns their stupid idea on its head, doesn't it? That the poor are lazy.
Yeah, but it's okay for the rich to get welfare and subsidies.
Well, yes, of course.
But heaven help if you're a poor person that needs social services for survival.
He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches,
and he who gives to the rich
shall surely come to want.
Yeah.
It is a sin to give to the rich.
I mean, for God's sakes, if your income is I think it's in New Jersey, if it's $800 a month or more, you're too wealthy to get a Medicaid card.
Oh, yes, of course. Then they turn around and accuse him of being ineffective. Moreover, their insensitivity to victims and survivors of gun violence is stunning. It's no wonder Americans are so cynical about our political system. Interestingly, mainline media news, the parent company of several publications in the Philadelphia area, reports that polling shows that Toomey's approval ratings have jumped to record levels in Pennsylvania since he sponsored the gun bill, which 85% of the state's residents support. The question is, will he face a Republican primary, and could he win one? That's how the Republicans keep their people in line. You step out of line, buddy. We're going to primary you. We're going to get somebody up against you. And we're going to give them a lot of moolah. And you're going to get none.
And that therein lies the problem with politics and with business as usual, with corporations. It's the bottom line. It's money. Money in politics causes the corruption. You know, just like I try to tell people, Monsanto wants to control the world's food supply. And I'm very happy that more and more countries are saying no to Monsanto's genetically modified sterile seeds.
Yeah, but the point of it is, like, they've already got, 85-90% of some of the food supply already GMO.
Well, the United States...
Corn, soybeans!
Basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you heard that Chisler's Hall of Shame I did, was it last week, about the Similac?
Yeah,
Abbott Company, who makes Similac baby formula, has predominantly corn syrup and GMO soy protein isolate.
Yeah.
You know, country of Bhutan.
Butana?
Not,